So much has happened since the last time we got together, Cam. 2 weeks ago, USC, UCLA joined the Big Ten,
Oh yeah.
and then all the fallout concerning what the possibilities are past that. It's no secret that the Big Ten is pursuing Notre Dame, and who would they pair with Notre Dame? Clemson, Florida State, Miami seem to be prime picks for either. You would think, obviously, the SEC comes to everybody's mind, but also the Big Ten. Do you have any thoughts about a preference? Stay in the ACC, or yes, fortify, stabilize the conference, or SEC versus Big Ten for Miami?
Um, Miami, we should be leaders, not followers, for one. Um, if the so Craig T. Smith quarterbacked a roundtable for us on State of the U on this very topic, which is great. You should go read it. My answer was, if the ACC is going to survive, the number one thing is you got to have Notre Dame become a full-time member, and because they're part-time, as in the non-football sports, they are ACC members. For all the other sports, basketball, women's basketball, all those things, but not football. Got to be football. Has to happen, right? And you got to go poach a couple other national brands. Now, there was legislation trying to be pushed in the states of Oregon and Washington to keep the public schools together, i.e. Oregon and Oregon State, and Washington State from those respective locations in the same conference moving forward. I don't care about that. That has nothing to do with me. Let me go get Oregon. Let me go get Washington. And then, maybe get, somebody else who's on a trajectory to step up. Maybe go back and get a West Virginia. Maybe go get Houston. Some teams from a conference where, okay, you can build things up. That would be, for me, the path forward for the ACC to have viability. If they're unable to get Notre Dame, which is the key to everything, right? Because Notre Dame's grant of right, well, they control their own rights, but their TV contract is up in a couple of years. And so it seems like everybody's going to take a big pause to see, okay, which way do they go? And then that will dictate where everybody else goes. Then, and it's been rumored and said that Miami is already in conversations looking elsewhere. Cool, I'm with it. So if it wants to be SEC, great. If it's going to be Big Ten, and we get, Miami versus Michigan every however many years, which, hey, the team of my youth versus the team of my choosing, when I came to college and everything, I'm with that as well. I think that, there are pros and cons for both. I listed them, but, from an academic profile, I think that Miami wants to align in a way with the Big Ten, because the Big Ten is your premier academic conference that is not the Ivy League, and everything. And, just continuing to be on that kind of trajectory and path. From a cultural and geographical standpoint, I think the SEC fits more. But yeah, so it's kind of a Boolean if-then statement to me. If Notre Dame stays or comes fully to the ACC, and we're able to go get, some national brands to bolster the portfolio, then I'm fine with staying in the ACC. If not, then, let's take our talents somewhere else and then bring in these other, conferences down to South Beach and everything. But look, everybody recruits here already. And even though I know that the Big Ten, motivated by their TV contract, went and grabbed LA as a market, so now they have New York as a market in their conference, because Rutgers has that proximity, the number one TV market in America, and then the number two market in Los Angeles now, and Miami, Fort Lauderdale is the 16th largest TV market. It is still a destination location, and there's so much more that you can leverage with having Miami in your portfolio of schools, that I know that the University of Miami appeals to both ACC and Big Ten. So I don't really have a preference, even though, like I said, our pros and cons to both. But as long as Miami continues, and Miami is going to be at the forefront of the world of college football. I'm not going to say that they're going to win championships, but these decisions are not going to go by the wayside. And Miami is going to be left scrambling like, some lower tier G5 school or something like that. Like, whatever the landscape ends up being, if it's 2 or 3 major conferences or Miami is going to be in that conversation. It's just really a matter of figuring out which way is best. But I have not lost a drop of sleep or a wink of sleep thinking that Miami is going to be on the outside of whatever the power brokers of college football are going to craft for themselves moving forward, because Miami is like that.
Yeah. This could be doomsday eventually in terms of major college competition, football competition for the likes of Wake Forest,
Yeah.
and some others like that, unfortunately. But Miami's not in that realm.
Right.
We had a tremendous conversation filling your spot last week. We brought on Tony Altimore. He's a consultant strategist who has compiled just tons of tremendous research in regards to evaluating all these institutions and conferences academically in terms of TV markets, the football, athletics, the endowments, all of it, just scads of information. And yes, Miami is more than well positioned in
Absolutely.
all aspects.